I hope her journey here was a pleasant one. The journey, not so much the arrival. You have them?
Hey, Cole. You're my good boy. Mwah.
You got it. Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to part 4 of random trivia about Thomas DVDs and VHSs. It's been a long time since my last random facts video, and in that video I said that I wasn't going to make any more, but I found some more trivia that I want to share with you. First, let's talk about the New Friends for Thomas DVD again. The bottom image is taken from Thomas and His Friends Get Along, but with Harvey, Murdoch, and Arthur over it, and mirrored, because if you look right here, you could see the causeway right here. Also, in the Really Useful Places game, they say who would be most likely down at the quarry unloading cargo from Bulstrode when they're talking about Cranky, even though Cranky doesn't work at the quarry. Yeah, how did they make that mistake? And finally, right here, they say Thomas, James, Percy, and Gordon, even though Cole! Even though in this picture and on the menu, it's Thomas, Salty, Percy, and Gordon. Oh, and speaking of Thomas and His Friends Get Along, you see right here, Duncan's face is edited, because right here he's wearing one face, but in the reflection, he's wearing his different face, his grumpy face. I can't believe I haven't shown you that before. Oh, and here's probably the biggest goof in the history of Thomas DVDs. In Steamies vs. Diesels, during the Steamy or Diesel game, they call Spencer a diesel, even though he's clearly not.
Good try, but I actually have a horn instead of a whistle, so I am a diesel engine.
And also on Steamies vs. Diesels, during the Steamy Stumpers game, they get a whole bunch of facts wrong. They say that in Percy's New Whistle, Percy blows his whistle at Elizabeth, who's delivering food for ducks, which that never happens in the episode. They say in Thomas to the Rescue, Sir Matt sent Thomas to the quarry because Bill and Ben are needed for repairs, but that never happened, except for a deleted scene, so maybe that was the original plot. They say in Henry and the Wishing Tree that cakes and buns splattered all over Henry, even though that never happened. And finally, in Squeak, Rattle, and Roll, they say that Gordon blew his whistle to cover up the rattling, even though he just slowed down to cover up the rattling in the episode. On the Thomas's Christmas Wonderland release, on the back, it says George Carlin is the only narrator, even though Alec Baldwin narrated Snow. And also in the description, it says, cheer on Thomas, Harold, Percy, and Terrence as they shovel out stranded villagers just in time for Christmas, even though in the US version of that episode, Thomas and Percy's Mountain Adventure, it's about Thanksgiving. And on the back of the VHS, it says there are 2 new stories, even though there's only one new story, being Snow. On Site with Thomas is the only DVD on the entire planet to contain the work song. You know, the soda's always busy with jobs that must be done. Everyone knows that Steamies vs. Diesels is the first DVD to feature new series episodes, but it wasn't until 3 years later, with Thomas and the Toy Workshop, that an Anchor Bay release had new series episodes on it. And also, the episodes on this release are from Season 9, but their titles aren't said aloud, unlike when they were aired on TV, their titles were said aloud. Hey, you remember the first piece of trivia from the first of these videos, where I said that there's only 10 DVDs that doesn't have Thomas on the cover? Well, Best of James is the only DVD to not have Thomas anywhere on the DVD. See, look, he's not on the cover, or on the spine, or on the back. Hey, remember when I said that in 2003 they released cassettes with some VHS tapes? Well, to go along with that, they also released some DVDs with CDs inside of them. The ones that they did that with was Best of Thomas, Best of James, Thomas's Christmas Wonderland, Percy's Chocolate Crunch, James and the Red Balloon, and Thomas's Snowy Surprise. All of them were released with a thick case like this, except for James and the Red Balloon for some reason. And also, Thomas's Christmas Wonderland was never released without a sampler CD, which is why it's kind of rare nowadays. Henry and the Elephant and Rusty to the Rescue are the only 2 Anchor Bay releases to not come with booklets, probably because they were the last 2 releases by Anchor Bay. On the back cover of the Thomas and the Special Letter VHS, they say, "Join Thomas, Rusty, Sir Handel, and Daisy," even though Daisy isn't on any of the episodes on this VHS. And boom, I got a haircut. Did you know that there were only 3 episodes of season 11 that are on a regular Thomas DVD that isn't Engines and Escapades? Henry's Lucky Day on Holiday Express, and Hide and Peep and Emily in the Garbage on Engine Friends. These 4 episodes were never released on any home video. These 8 episodes were released on a digital download pack called Fun on the Rails Play Pack, and these 5 episodes were released individually on a series of DVDs called Hit Favorites. Did you know that the first 4 VHS tapes that came out on June 7th, 1990 and September 27th, 1990 actually had blue tapes instead of black tapes, and then they went on to red, and then they went on to the famous black. Now, let's talk about all the different errors when it comes to captioning the Thomas DVDs and VHSs. On the Daisy VHS, during Safe from Scrap, they say Gem Coal with a G instead of a J. On the Thomas and the Magic Railroad DVD, during Really Useful Engine, they say Last Controller instead of Fat Controller, and now he's got a workshop instead of now he's got a branch line. In Best of James, during the intermissions when they play Really Useful Engine, the captions say, "He's the prettiest red engine we adore," instead of "He's the really useful engine we adore." In Percy's Chocolate Crunch, during Little Engines, when they say Thomas, Percy, Bill, and Ben, the captions say Thomas, Cassie, Bill, and Ben. On Thomas and His Friends Get Along, during Percy Proves a Point, during the Percy's Victory Song, the captions say Old French Line instead of Old Branch Line. On the Percy Saves the Day DVD, they spell Toby with 2 B's throughout the entire thing. On Thomas and the Really Brave Engines, during Thomas and the Search for Fergus, when Diesel says "Don't interfere," the captions say "Darn it to fear." On Trust Thomas, during Toby's Tightrope, when the trucks say on, the captions say un. On the Thomas and the Special Letter DVD, when Thomas says "I had a race with Bertie once," they spell Bertie like this. In Percy's Ghostly Trick, during Thomas's Anthem, they say "Beat hearts along the way" instead of "He rides along the way," and also they say "Doug" instead of "Duck." On Thomas's Trusty Friends, during One Friendly Family, they say Frankie instead of Cranky. And on Thomas Gets Tricked, during the very beginning of Thomas Gets Tricked, the captions say that George Carlin is the narrator, even though it's Ringo Starr. Most of the time I only talk about US DVDs and VHSs for this series, but here's something I just can't pass up. The Brazilian cover of Thomas and His Friends Help Out, not only does it use the Codimundi Studios illustrations instead of the pictures like the American version, it recreates the image from Percy's Promise, but with Henry instead of Percy. This next piece of trivia doesn't concern any one release, it's just trivia about episodes that were only on Shining Time Station and never on any home video. George Carlin's narration of Come Out Henry and Henry to the Rescue was never on DVD. It was only on a really rare version of the Thomas Gets Tricked VHS where George Carlin narrates all the episodes, and they add a couple of episodes at the end. Ringo Starr's narration of Woolly Bear and Percy's Ghostly Trick were never on any home video, unless you want to count the audio of Woolly Bear being on the cassette/CD that came with the Diesel's Devious Deed and Other Thomas Stories book. Now, let's talk about the reverse. The episodes Daisy and Percy's Predicament were never on Shining Time Station. So just imagine you're in 1993 and you're in a video store and you find this. You're like, what, Shining Time Station? What, she was never on Shining Time Station. Who's that character? Who's Daisy? As well as George Carlin's narration of A Proud Day for James, Safe from Scrap, and The Runaway. Yeah, you couldn't find George Carlin's narration of A Proud Day for James anywhere until 2002 when Best of James first came out. And here's some more Shining Time Station trivia. The Christmas special "'Tis a Gift," when it aired on TV, the Thomas episodes were Terrence the Tractor and Thomas's Christmas Party, but when it came out on VHS, they switched the episodes to Thomas's Christmas Party and Thomas and the Missing Christmas Tree. For Thomas and the Missing Christmas Tree, they didn't have Ringo Starr re-narrate it, so they just took the UK version and took out all the sentences mentioning the Fat Controller. Now, let's do something that I've never done before. Let's talk about the DVDs from the Brenner era. On the DVD Trouble on the Tracks, there are 5 episodes in the US, but 7 in the UK. Those 2 extra episodes are Duck in the Slipcoaches and Missing Gator, and were later put on Tales on the Rails. But then, on the DVD Signals Crossed, they did the same thing, but didn't put the 2 extra episodes on another DVD. All but 1 episode of Season 19 is on these 6 DVDs. Whale of a Tale, Wildwater Rescue, Thomas's Christmas Carol, Tales on the Rails, Start Your Engines, and Ultimate Friendship Adventures. The 1 episode that's not is called Helping Hero. It was on a UK DVD called Tales from the Rails, not to be confused with Tales on the Rails. That DVD also contains the 5 episodes of Season 20 that's on Ultimate Friendship Adventures. The 5 episodes of Season season 19, that's on Ultimate Friendship Adventures, are on a UK DVD called Full Steam to the Rescue. For season 20, only 19 episodes of the 28 were released in America. There's a UK DVD called Team Up with Thomas, and I know that's the title of a DVD from season 12, but they just used that title anyway. If that DVD was released in America, we'd have all 28 episodes of season 20, minus Bradford the Brake Fan. And then for season 21, they completely gave up and only released Christmas on Sodor, which has 5 of the 18 episodes of season 20. The UK did get 2 extra DVDs called On the Go with Thomas and Danger at the Docks, which completed season 21. So that was part 4 of random trivia about Thomas DVDs and VHSs. I hope you like it, and here's to more DVDs in the future. Oh wait, there hasn't been a new DVD in 3 years.